guys.
We're gonna wait for the followers. Okay. Ahora, yeah.
Hello, guys. I love you, everyone. I love you. I see your son. Tonight, I know feeling I lose it. I am the champ. That's it like a movie, like a Rocky Marciano. Today, I am Black Rocky. No, sorry, I forgot. I am the Black Rocky.
People's champ.
The people champ.
People's champ.
Robert say, he today want to say, he want to the people say, the people see. I am very old, like a 41 years old. But what you thinking about what he say? Today, God stay with me every time. I love you. See you soon, guys. Champion.
Guys, he got robbed twice, 2 times in Chicago. Commission took it from him. The judges took it from him. But I'll tell you what, as fans, as people that have watched the sport for a long, long time, that may have been one of the greatest fights I've ever seen in my life. And I know a lot of you guys feel the same way. Give it up for this man. This man did something impossible based on everything. He had a game plan. He executed the game plan, and he won that fight. God bless you guys. Every one of you.
God bless you.
Love you guys.
Hey, tell me what's going on.
Are we still talking about weigh-ins?
Yeah.
They're at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. And going back, I want to know about Rashad Evans. Obviously, he had a devastating knockout loss. It has a great history in the company. Just what were your thoughts on his career and where he stands?
Yeah. You know, when he lost, I had him come back to my room, and you know, we hung out and talked, and yeah, it's sad. You know, the guys. Rashad was on season 2 of The Ultimate Fighter. You know, so he was around through the whole, you know, building of this company, and yeah, we all get old, man, and this is a young man's sport, and but he, you know, if you look at what he won The Ultimate Fighter, he became a world champion. He, you know, was with this team where he was like the guy and built all these, you know, young up and coming fighters. He's been in big, huge fights. He's been on the ride with us the whole way, and he got to close it out in his hometown of Chicago. So, not a bad run, you know.
Last one for me. Chris Weidman and Kelvin Gastelum were both in attendance tonight. What's next for them? Obviously, these two just had a big-time war tonight. What's next for those two guys?
Yeah, Weidman's still hurt. His hand is messed up, so he's going to be out for a while longer. And then who else did you ask me about?
Kelvin Gastelum.
Oh yeah, Kelvin. You know, no comment on Kelvin Gastelum. He should have been the backup here tonight when this all went down. But
was that offered to him?
No, he couldn't do it. He's got some personal issues that he seriously needs to take care of.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dan, over here. Do you mind just expanding on that? Was that the plan from the beginning of this fight being announced?
Who?
With Kelvin?
Yeah. We wanted Kelvin to be the guy for a backup here. I'm not going to expand on it because it's personal.
Okay.
But it's some shit that he needs to get together and handle quick.
Speaking of the Hall of Fame, I've been meaning to ask you about this, just about the passing of Bruce Connell and what he meant for the company.
Yeah, it was so crazy when we heard that Bruce had passed away, and so young, was getting ready to take off to go to Australia, and yeah, this guy was here before me and the Fertittas. I mean, he was here before we were here, and he was great. He was a great producer. He was very well respected by everybody and loved by everybody here. So another Hall of Fame that's well deserved.
And just 2 other ones. Could you explain what happened with Yair in the end?
What happened with what?
Yair Rodriguez.
Yair? So, I mean, everybody knows what happened, why he was gone. So then, what is that? So I was, I'm deaf as it is, and now they got this going on. So I don't remember where the hell I was. Yeah, no, where was I when this all? I had to go somewhere. I went out of town, and Sean called me and said, Yair had some had some real personal problems. I talked to him and everything else. Do you mind if I sit down and talk to him about this stuff? And I said, no. I like Yair Rodriguez very much. So Sean met with him and talked to him, and then came back to me. And Yair and his team flew out and met with me, and he's back.
Pretty simple. And just one last one. Contender Series starts on Tuesday.
Has what?
Your Contender Series show starts on Tuesday.
I can't wait, man. I seriously can't wait. I could do that every Tuesday for the rest of my life. I love it.
And I'm just wondering about Greg Hardy, because obviously he comes from the world of football and somewhat of a polarizing figure in the world of football, and he has, a checkered past, if you want to put it that way. What was the decision-making process to let him on the show?
Well, first of all, he went through everything, the whole legal process that he needed to go to. Went back to football, played for the Panthers, then got cut, then moved over to Dallas and played there for a while, then was cut from there. I guess he had a real bad drug and alcohol problem. Started getting into MMA, cleaned himself up. If you talk to anybody that he trains with, male or female, they say that, he's a very good guy. He's very humble. And, everybody deserves a second chance. And the guy was never charged with anything. He was never, sentenced or anything like that. So we're going to give him a shot.
Can I ask one more about Contender? I hadn't heard you speak about Nick Newell and the decision to finally give him a shot. Why did you decide ultimately to do that?
Well, Nick Newell came out and met with me too. And we met face to face. And, he told me how long he's been in the sport, who he trains with, what he's done, and he's like, and if you don't believe in me and you don't think I'm good enough, then at least let me try the Contender Series. Yeah. So I said, fair enough. And it's not, the thing is with Nick Newell, it's like, how many of you honestly think that Nick Newell could fight in the UFC? Most of you? Do most of you think? Right. So most people think the guy's talented and he's beat some real guys. He trains with real guys. The big thing is, if anything ever happened to Nick Newell, okay? If Nick Newell fights in the UFC, the first thing they're going to say is, how could you let a guy with one arm fight in the UFC? You're an idiot. Me. Not you guys. Me. I'll be the idiot. Yeah. But I'm saying, what if something bad happened? The big question would be, why aren't you guys supposed to be the best? All the best fighters in the world are in the UFC. So you're going to throw a guy with one arm fighting guys with two arms? You know what I'm saying. You guys know how to be negative. You know what I mean? You know the negative stuff will happen when if something bad happened. Might even be some of you that read it.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to get your thoughts, please, on what might be next for Robert Whittaker and who might be in line to fight him next. Robert
Whittaker broke his hand in the third round. For a fact, his hand is broken. I just saw him back there, and his hand is swollen up like this. It's huge. His hand's definitely broken. And this kid can't catch a break, injured with his knee, staph infection. Now he broke his hand, and he's so talented, and he's so tough, and he's so good, and he's our first champion from Australia, which is incredible. He's just had a real run of bad luck. We're going to have to wait and see how long it's going to take him to get healthy before we talk about what's next.
Would that, a couple more, would that in any way influence whether or not you have another promotion in Australia later this year?
No. Mm-hmm. We love Australia. We'll be back to Australia with or without. If you look at the event that we did for the first time up there, Whittaker ended up falling out, and we made another main event with Rockhold and Yoel, and look how amazing the event did. The event was a huge success, and every time we go to Australia, the fans are incredible. The fights are always good for some reason, and it's just, that place is just an absolute home run for us.
You got any thoughts about which city or when it might be?
I don't hear off the top of my head, but I know I think we're going back this year, right?
Yes.
Yes. We'll be back this year. I don't know where yet, though.
And last one for me on the Australians. Could you give me your thoughts on the performances of Tai Tuivasa and Megan Anderson tonight, please?
Yeah, no, Ty looked great. He was in a war tonight. He was in a really tough fight, against a crafty veteran that did not want to get beat tonight. And those are the type of guys you have to fight when you're a young up-and-coming guy like him to get better and to get that experience under your belt. Who did you guys have winning that fight? I love how you guys ask me, but when I ask you, you don't give me the answers. I love it.